If you've been in construction long enough, you've probably had this experience. Your estimates look solid, the job went fine, everything felt like it was on track. But when you finally checked the bank account, the money, it just wasn't there. I'm Susan Giddings, and I help contractors turn busy businesses into profitable, predictable ones. I've owned construction companies, I've run crews, I've done the estimating, and now I consult with contractors across the country. And let me tell you, this problem is more common than most people realize. And it all comes down to one missing link between your estimate and your actual profit. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Let me tell you something that most contractors don't realize until it costs them thousands. Your job costing isn't end of job paperwork. It's the thing that makes your estimating more accurate, your jobs more predictable, and your profit more consistent. But most contractors treat job costing like it's something to look at after the project is all done and wrapped up. And by then it's too late. The money, it's already gone. Let's fix that today. Let's talk about the real problem behind job costing. Because here's what I see every single week. Contractors are busy, the crews are slammed, the jobs, they're back to back. But when you look at the numbers after the job finishes, things aren't adding up, right? Maybe your labor went over, or it was the materials, or maybe a little bit of both. But either way, your profit dropped. And you're sitting there thinking, how the hell did this happen? This job, it should have been profitable. But here's the truth. You can't fix what you're not tracking while the job is actually happening. And you definitely can't fix what you don't understand. Most contractors only look at the total hours, the invoices, the material totals. But again, those numbers only tell you what happened, not why it happened. And without understanding the why, that next estimate is just going to be another guess. So here's what I'm going to cover today. The number one job costing mistake that's draining your profits, the weekly system that will protect your profit, and how to build your historical data so your estimates keep getting better. Let's start with point number one, the job costing mistake that costs you the most. Most contractors track job costs, but what they don't track is why things happen. And without the why, your job costing is virtually useless. Because when you go to sit down and estimate a similar job 6 months from now, you won't remember a thing. You'll see numbers, but you're not going to remember the story behind them. And all those numbers you tracked, they only tell you what happened. But if you're not taking notes, you'll never know why it happened and be able to fix it next time. And that's why taking notes is so critical. Here's what those notes should actually look like. Week number 2, we had rain delays. We lost 2 days. Week number 3, tight working area slowed the crew down. Week number 4, the client added extras. We never did a change order. Week number 5, we had a late delivery. The crew waited around for 3 hours. These little notes, they're what's going to make your estimating better and better, because job costing without notes is just math. Job costing with notes is information. And information is what's going to help you increase your profits. Okay, let's move on to point number 2, the weekly tracking system that keeps your jobs profitable. Now, as I mentioned earlier, here's where most contractors lose money. They wait and review the costs at the end of the job. And that's just too late because the money's already gone. You've lost any ability to change what was going wrong in real time. Weekly job costing is where the power is. It lets you catch overruns early, fix any scope creep you start seeing, be able to issue change orders on time, adjust supervision, and tighten production. It's the difference between being reactive and being in control. Here's the system that I teach my clients. Step number 1, the bookkeeper updates actuals every week on every job. Labor, materials, subs, equipment, everything. Step number 2, you sit down and review the report with your project managers or foremen. Same day, same time, every week. It should only take about 10 to 15 minutes per job. You're going to ask them questions like, are we on track? What slipped last week? Do we need a change order? What's coming up that could slow us down? Step number 3, here's where you add your notes. This is time to document why things happened, both good and bad. Step number 4, you're going to repeat this weekly until the job is done. Being consistent is what protects your profit. That way, nothing can sneak up on you because you're looking at your numbers every single week. Now, let's move on to the final item. Point number 3, how job costing builds the data that makes your estimates more accurate. This is the part most contractors don't realize. Job costing is how you build your very own historical database, not by using industry averages, not by saying let's just use what it usually takes, and definitely not by guessing. This is your real numbers from your real jobs. And when you do this every single week, your data becomes gold for you. You learn how long things really take, not under ideal conditions, but under the conditions that you have on your jobs. You learn your real material usage, not theory, reality. And then you start to see patterns, the jobs you're good at, the jobs you should probably stop taking, the suppliers who cause delays and always are slowing you down, and which are your best crews for certain types of work. Historical data makes your estimating stronger every single time, and your estimates will get tighter, clearer, and more predictable because they're built on truth, your company's actual data. This is how successful contractors start seeing consistent profit instead of continual surprises. Now, if you're listening to this and thinking, yep, this is exactly what's happening in my business, this is what I help contractors fix. I work with owners doing $1 million to $10 million a year who are tired of seeing profit on paper, but not showing up in their bank account. If you want to tighten up your estimating, get job costing dialed in, and finally have consistent, predictable profit, click the link in the description, and let's talk about how we can get your numbers right so you can get back into control. So let's do a quick review of what we've just covered. Here's why your estimating isn't improving and why your profit keeps slipping. You're tracking numbers only, but not the why behind them. You're reviewing job costs too late at the end of the jobs, not weekly. You're not building historical data, and you're estimating with guesses instead of proof. Once you fix these, everything changes for you. You'll have the same crew, the same or even better jobs. Only now, your estimates have gotten tighter, your jobs are running smoother, and your profit is getting stronger. You're actually seeing it sticking in your bank account. This is the power of job costing done right. Now, if you want to discuss how to put this in place in your business, just click the link in the description and let's talk.